Okay, so this is the second video to adding rational expressions. So let's say we had 3 over x plus 7 plus 15 over x plus 7. So this is just like the first example we had in the last video. The only difference is that the other only had numbers and here we have expressions. But as you can see, our denominator is exactly the same. So our least common multiple is just x plus 7. But just as practice, let's work this out. So we have x plus 7 the factors of x plus 7 are just x plus 7, and we also have x plus 7. So as I said before, if we have, for example, a and they are factors of two different numbers, then we can just say that our least common multiple is a. But remember that if for some reason we had a times a as the factors of one of the numbers or one of the expressions, then we must have in the least common multiple a times a at least. But in this case we just have a, and so our least common multiple is just a. In this case, x plus 7. So we have x plus 7 as denominator. We do not have to change any of the two rational expressions, and so we just add 3 plus 15 and we get 18. So this is our solution. Now we have a slightly more difficult problem. We have 7 over 4x plus 3 plus 8 over 8x plus 6. So we cannot really factor 4x plus 3. There is no common factor of the coefficients or anything. However, for 8x plus 6, we can actually factor this out to 2 times 4x plus 3, because our coefficients right here have a common factor, which is 2. And so by looking at this, we know that our LCM, our least common multiple, is 2 times 4x plus 3, since it contains all the factors of both expressions, of both polynomials. So this is 8x plus 6. And so our first term has to change, right? Because we see that our denominator is 4x plus 3, not 8x plus 6 like we found the LCM to be. So since this is the case, we need to multiply our numerator and denominator by this extra factor right here, the 2 that we didn't have before. But as you might recall, 2 over 2 is just equal to 1. So if we multiply the numerator and denominator by the same thing, it's just like multiplying by 1 and nothing really changes. So we must multiply the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2 as well. And so this is what we get, and then we must add the 8 over 8x plus 6. Since we found the LCM to be exactly the same thing, we don't really have to do anything to it. So now we can turn this into 14 over 8x plus 6 just by distributing the 2, plus 8 over 8x plus 6, and now we just have the same case we had before, which is that our denominators are the same, and we just add them up, and we get 22 over 8x plus 6. And that's how we add our two expressions.